The sky was darkened with an unnatural, ominous thundercloud. A storm of cosmic proportions raged overhead. An angry, roiling vortex that sent jagged bolts of lightning crashing down into the earth. It wasn't just a weather anomaly. It was a signal, a harbinger of something far greater than any of them had ever faced before. Thor, the god of thunder, had been summoned to Earth by the Avengers. But he was not alone. Captain America stood resolutely at his side, his shield raised in determination, ready to face whatever threat this storm heralded. Yet, despite the shared urgency, there was a palpable tension in the air between the two heroes. Captain America, with his sharp tactical mind, suggested a careful approach to gather a team, study the threat, and plan accordingly. Thor, on the other hand, was impatient. The storm above was a sign of impending chaos, and his first instinct was to strike, to use his might to quell the coming destruction. To Thor, strength and power were always the solution. Captain America, ever the strategist, was unwilling to blindly charge into a battle without understanding the full scope of the danger. "Thor," Cap said, his voice firm but calm, "we don't know what we're up against. Let's be smart about this. A team is the only way we'll succeed." Thor scoffed, his thunderous voice booming. "A team is only as strong as its weakest link, Steve. I need no one to handle a force of nature. I will strike down whatever threatens this realm, alone." Captain America's blue eyes hardened. He had faced challenges all his life, often against overwhelming odds. But even now, standing before a god, he couldn't back down. He wasn't just defending Earth. He was defending the people of it. The innocent lives that would be lost if Thor acted recklessly. "You may be a god, but you don't have the right to make decisions for everyone. There's more to being a hero than strength," Cap replied, raising his shield as a sign of resolve. Thor's eyes narrowed, his grip tightening around Mjolnir, his enchanted hammer. "Then you will learn, Steve Rogers. Strength is all that matters in the end. Let us settle this. Right here, without another word." Thor raised Mjolnir high and summoned the full force of the storm, hurling the hammer toward Captain America. A massive burst of lightning lit up the sky as Mjolnir surged forward, the hammer streaking through the air like a comet. Cap reacted instantly, his shield flashing as he blocked the attack with an explosive impact. The force of the strike reverberated to the ground beneath him, and the shockwave sent a blast of wind tearing through the battlefield. But Captain America wasn't deterred. He swiftly pivoted, using his enhanced agility to keep his feet beneath him. As Thor began to charge, Cap took advantage of the momentary distance. He closed the gap between them with a leap, his shield raised to strike. Thor swung Mjolnir again, but Cap ducked low, narrowly avoiding the blow, and delivered a series of punches with his shield, each blow aimed at Thor's chest. Thor staggered back slightly, surprised by Cap's speed and precision. Thor, in turn, grinned. "Not bad for a mortal," he muttered before slamming his hammer into the ground. The shockwave that followed sent Captain America tumbling, but he quickly regained his balance, refusing to stay down for long. The storm raged on above, wind whipping through the trees as lightning cracked the sky. Thor's eyes gleamed with divine fury as he unleashed a torrent of power. Mjolnir crackled with lightning as he swung it toward Cap with terrifying force, sending waves of energy surging through the air. The sheer power behind Thor's strike was immense, and Captain America felt the weight of it even as he managed to deflect it with his shield. But this time, he was driven back several feet by the impact, the shock jarring his body. His muscles burned with exertion, and his shield had begun to show signs of wear dents and scratches appearing from the relentless barrage. But Cap did not falter. He wasn't one to give up, no matter the odds. As Thor prepared to strike again, Captain America used the environment to his advantage, ducking behind a nearby stone pillar. Thor's eyes flashed with anger as he swung Mjolnir to shatter the stone, but Cap was already moving, slipping into the shadows, striking swiftly from all angles. He used his shield as a battering ram, hitting Thor in the side, landing blows to the legs, anywhere that could weaken the god's resolve. Thor grunted, finally losing his patience. Enough of these games, he bellowed, spinning Mjolnir in a great arc and releasing a blast of thunder that tore through the ground and shattered the stone pillars. Captain America barely managed to leap out of the way in time, his shield absorbing the brunt of the shockwave. But he was running out of options. The storm above grew more intense, the wind howling as if in response to Thor's increasing power. Captain America's shield had sustained heavy damage, and his muscles screamed for rest. Every breath felt heavier, and he could feel the fatigue setting in. Still, he would not give up. He pushed himself to his feet, his shield still clutched in his hand, though it was now cracked and battered. Thor, seeing the toll the battle had taken on Cap, offered a smirk. "You are strong, Steve Rogers. Stronger than I expected, but you are not a god. You cannot match the might of the storm." With a sudden roar, Thor summoned the full force of the storm. The skies above crackled with lightning as the air grew thick with electricity. Mjolnir flared with power, and a massive bolt of lightning erupted from the hammer, striking the ground at Captain America's feet. The blast sent Cap flying backward, his shield knocked from his grasp as he crashed into a pile of rubble. His body was battered, his mind reeling, but his heart remained resolute. Thor stood over him, Mjolnir raised high for the final blow. This ends now, mortal. But Captain America, though bloodied and broken, rose once more. With incredible willpower, he summoned every last ounce of strength. He reached for his shield, grasping it with a grimace of pain, and faced Thor one last time. "I may not be a god, but I'll keep fighting. For Earth, for the people, for every man and woman who believes in what's right. I'll never stop fighting." Thor paused. For a moment, he looked down at Captain America with a mixture of respect and awe. The god had seen many warriors in his lifetime, but none had ever stood before him with such unwavering determination. Still, Thor knew that in the end, there could only be one victor. His power was too great, and Captain America's body was too worn. With a final, decisive motion, Thor raised Mjolnir and unleashed a devastating bolt of lightning directly at Captain America. The energy coursed through the air, striking Cap with unrelenting force. The shield shattered into pieces as Cap was sent sprawling across the battlefield, his body crumpling to the ground unmoving. Thor stood over him, his breathing heavy but triumphant. He had won, but as he looked down at his beaten opponent, he could not help but feel a sense of reverence. Captain America had fought with everything he had, never once yielding, even in the face of certain defeat. That was the mark of true heroism, and Thor knew that he had just witnessed something extraordinary. With a sigh, Thor lowered Mjolnir. "You fought well, Steve Rogers. You are a hero in every sense of the word." As the storm above them began to subside, Thor extended his hand to help Captain America to his feet. Though he had won the battle, it was clear that the victory had not been easy. The bond between them, forged in the crucible of battle, had grown stronger, and they would stand together in the fight ahead, knowing that in this world of gods and men, strength alone was not enough. It was resilience, determination, and honor that made a true hero. And in that moment, Thor realized that perhaps, just perhaps, it wasn't the gods who truly held the fate of Earth in their hands, but those who, like Captain America, never gave up, no matter the odds.